Hello, everyone. Welcome on this fine Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Let's see if this here starts up the way I hope. I can see it going on the YouTubes. Let's just check real quick on the Twitch. Twitch.tv. Excellent, excellent. All is as it should be, I hope. Yes, and I'm seeing things from the chat coming in, which means it's time to say hello to some wonderful people. Starting with Enderpup. Sorry I gave you the wrong time early on. I was thinking Western Daylight Savings Time, not Eastern. My bad. For some reason, time zones are a weakness of mine. And then there's Cherry Fluffbelly Official and MLP Trinary, Adam Leisman and Mary Drake, Pokemon Fire Eevee, Cosmena Inspira. And we have Lunar Brony, Venpie. And we'll see if some more folks are pouring in. Oh, Dr. Hooves 2256 over on the Twitch. And Tornado, hello. I appreciate y'all sticking with me on this early time in the day. Very different from my usual Fridays, but it's a busy week with many an event going on, but I didn't want to miss out on another stream. But what I do have to, hello, Yakov von Takrar. What I do have to own, however, is that I'm not able to finish the Halloween special in time because I want it to be more. I want it to look good. I want it to have genuine motion and animation, even if it's amateurish. I want to push to be more than I was yesterday. And so, heck knows when I'm going to get it done. With that in mind, I switched over to my live action MLP video, which needs some more editing. But first and foremost, I need to check it. Oh, not Safari. I don't need Safari. Go away, Safari. I need my Finder. Thank you. Oh, my Silver-Quill parts. That's fine and all. Goodness gracious. You see, I'm vexed right now. I'm very vexed. I had, once upon a time, drawn the train station in Ponyville. An extended view. Great big background. What am I not seeing on my computer anywhere? The train station. I can't seem to find it anywhere. Not on my portable drives, not on my fallback drive. I'm wondering if I perhaps named it something else, stored it with something else. Oh, I really hate the idea of that going by the wayside. So let's just do one quick check before anything. Way Too Weird Productions. Silver-Quill resources and backgrounds. Ponyville. All right. Last I checked, I was working on this about the same time I was working on the train station. So maybe they're together, even though they shouldn't be. Nope, that is looking pretty darn spiffy. But isolated. Very isolated. Too bad. Well, then I'll just have to figure this out. Don't save. Because, well, time's wasting and we got stuff to do, eh? So join me, won't you? As I dive into more editing to talk about live action and its impact on franchises. Oh, well, it would help if I actually turned on the computer audio for y'all.
We will kill them all.
But it's going to... Ah! You killed me! You killed me because I'm headless. Dr. Hooves, I will pass on your message. And I want to thank everybody who saw my post about Lightning Bliss and the loss of her brother and just to let her know that we're all rooting for her. Be there for her as best anyone can. All the love she needs in a time of need. All that love and more.
But it's going to be a busy time with a lot of life to live before this movie comes out.
So yes, I will pass that along and greatly appreciate your support for her.
We don't even know the staff, the actors, or the central premise. Staff, the actors, or the central premise. What are you hoping to see in this new movie?
Talk.
Would you rather have an entirely new cast or some familiar horse faces?
And maybe a little smugness. So yeah, this week is has taken on life of its own. I will be spending time with buds on Halloween evening, and I figure no one wants to sit and watch a stream on Halloween night, especially when you can be spending that time with friends. So this just strikes me as a better way to go. But any which way. Hello, Crash Bandicoot Edward. And Trinary, I'm sorry that this is the anniversary of losing your little brother. I don't really know what to say beyond that. Although my family, we talked on Sunday, and my mom reminded us all that All Saints Day, November 1st, is a day to remember the people, not necessarily saints in the traditional Catholic observation, but the people who were just a happy presence in our lives. They're not associated with the fright or terror of Halloween. They're what comes after, the celebration of life. And that as painful as it is to not have them in our lives, the reason we have that pain is because we had the time together. And believe me, I've had a lot of losses. I'm not sorry I knew those people. I'm just sad we had to say goodbye. So there's a push and pull, I suppose.
Do you have a favorite live-action adaptation?
Oh boy, well, I got all super serial.
Or a favorite animation born from live action?
Gotta do something about that thinking.
Whatever the case, it seems the pony train just keeps on a-rolling.
Well, that now. Video projects. Still looking for that gosh darn train. You'd think I would have labeled it Ponyville Train. But you'd be wrong. Yeah, a whole bunch of train station stuff. So I definitely worked on it. All right. Keep on moving. I need to keep on keeping on. It's like those quotes at the bottom say, persistence. If you keep chugging, eventually you'll find a change. Maybe not the change we expected, but we find what we're looking for, what we need. Train upon us. I think that'll work quite nicely. No sound effects. Sound effects. No, I don't need that video. And this, ladies and gentlemen, and any other identifications, is why you don't do you talk on a train track.
Which makes my placement very unfortunate. Which makes my placement very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
It's very quiet. Now, start to talk. And I'll just... let's just go with kidding me expression. With a little fade up and... right.
The train just keeps on a rolling.
Gosh, is that... oh, there we go.
Just keeps on a rolling.
Okay, definitely need a fade up on that score. Boop, boop. Apply the default transition and... nope. Thought that would be easier to touch. Oh, well. There you go.
Train just keeps on a rolling.
Maybe that'll be stronger when I have dual audio. Haha. Oh, nope, that didn't work. I said haha eventually.
From live action. Whatever the case, it seems the pony train just keeps on a rolling. Which makes my placement very unfortunate. On a roller. Which makes my placement very unfortunate.
All right, audio transitions, crossfade, constant gain. That means it doesn't dip while it's transitioning. It just keeps on the power. More power. Whoop. Now, come on. There you go. So finicky. Duration. There we go. Oh, Dr. Hooves has always wanted to know, favorite pizza that Jasper makes? Well, he kind of refuses me service because of events in his own comics. So, really, look, if you can make a decent ham and basil pizza, I ain't going to complain. I am not going to complain one itty bitty bit. Crash Bandicoot wants to know, should I dress as Fiend Bray Wyatt as a tribute to Hulk Hogan? All right. As a tribute, I would say go with Bray Wyatt. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. He was an icon. He was a cultural figure. And then we learned a whole lot about him behind the scenes, and suddenly what he presented to the world was far different. So I would say, ironically, you don't pay tribute to Hulk Hogan with a mask, because that's what he greeted us with every day.
See, this is why you don't do this sort of thing in real life. See?
Hmm? Ah. Come on, scroll up. Up, up, up. Come on, you're supposed to go up when I tell you to go up.
See? This is why you don't do this sort of thing in real life.
All right, now I need a potato thunk. Or what did I call it? Body thug, but they use a sack of potatoes to do it. I mean, Trinary, I see your thought that maybe I did railroad or station. I'll do a search for station, but usually I'm not terribly, I would just say, creative when it comes to naming files. Oh, nope, right there. And then Kung Fu Punch. Granted, I don't know why it says Kung Fu. I don't think I've ever heard that used in an actual Kung Fu movie.
Which makes my placement very unfortunate.
And we'll put this below. Boop.
See?
Now, beat up. Body point out. Whoa. Hello. Don't need that. Ah, I see.
See? This is why you don't do this sort of thing in real life.
All right. Well, we'll have to fix that up. Don't worry. Oh dear, Trainer, you're thinking of Red Death. Tick, tick, tick. Everything's digital now. So apparently I need to make a whole new Silver-Quill expression. Ain't that a... Actually, I need to do a whole lot. Well, that might come at the end. Let's get to editing, because otherwise I will not see the completion of this here piece. Ready? Nope. What in the hoo-ha hey, you're supposed to be... Yeah, well. You're supposed to be up here. Ooh, and there's a little break. It's just the tiniest of gaps. It's an interesting way to... Alrighty. So, first thing we do, flip horizontal. Boop. And let's scale this sucker down just a smidge. Down here. Over here. Up here.
a live-action mask outside the old 80s commercial.
Ah! I've been decapitated again. Thought I fixed that. Huh. Well, easier way to fix this than worry about such things. Boop, 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 boop.
And even less of a chance of Starcom. When I think of those ads and why they invested more on live action rather than more animated commercials like the Transformers and G.I. Joe, I wonder if part of the goal was to indeed make the series feel more real to the target audience.
Okie dokie. Hocus Pocus, Young Frankenstein, Dracula Dead and Loving It, Garfield's Halloween Special. Ah, those are, what, is that what you're going to watch over Halloween Cosmetic Inspira? I always liked Spaced Invaders. They played that almost nightly around the Halloween season. Dr. Hooves, what are 10 things I like about Onyx from Rainbow Bright's movie? Metal Horse, Deep Voice, Space Flight, Rocket Hooves, Highly Loyal, let's see here, Air of Mystery, Call to Adventure, let's see, I only got 3 more to go. Call to Adventure, Darkest Space, Light Up Maine, and last part, just quick, swift ride. I mean, you can zoom through space. You're going to see a lot. Hello, Voice of Reason. Good to see you. All right. So here we go.
Okay. I'm okay. Whew. I'm okay. But I gotta find the humor in things nowadays or else I'll go crazy. Or crazier. There's not been a lot of good news lately, from national conflicts to blows to entertainment to having some of my local buds move out of state. So when this news strangely popped up on Tuesday, July 15th, I had something that could at least take my mind off things.
All right, this news popped up. Now, where are my graphics? Images. Nope. Definitely no. Woo! Scale it down. Here we go. MGM and Hasbro. Well, of course, Hasbro.
Strangely popped up on Tuesday, July 15th. I had something that could at least take my mind off it. For which I'm grateful.
Now then.
Crazier. There's not been a lot of good news lately from national conflicts to from national conflicts to blows to entertainment to having some of my local buds move out of state.
All right, so I need a news story. The question with national conflict, take your pick. That there's too much abundance. Conflicts. Tools, size, color, anytime, past year. Gosh darn it. Oh, yes, Dr. Hooves. I've seen plenty of Doctor Who. Although my very first introduction to the new Who was Love and Monsters. Apparently that was not a good way to go. A very poor introduction. Oh, I know. Kane at Trump. Un momentito, por favor. Oh, that's not what I need. Ready. The hay? Have I lost? It's strange. I should be seeing my. I should be seeing the option to save to my portable hard drives, as is my penchant. But I'm not seeing it. That makes me very anxious. So, pardon me, off screen, I'm doing just a little dance of corrections. Date added. Wrong date. Graphics, images. Whoop. That's the one I want. Actually, I have a lot of respect for Al Green. It takes a lot of guts to stand up and do that in the midst of, well, I believe this was the State of the Union address. I don't want people to forget about this moment.
Conflicts to blows.
And then blows to entertainment. Well, that's no
blows to entertainment. To having some of my local buds.
Blows to entertainment. Stephen Colbert canceled. Just looking through my options here. All right, Hollywood Unlocked. What have you got for me? Live MLP and more images. Images, as far as the eye can see. Did it not save? There you are. Oh dear, so many weird things happening to me this afternoon. So many strange things. A ship. Well, first off, I'm sorry, trying to read. Onyx is still mechanical. And therefore, I don't think, unless you want to get into a huge debate on artificial intelligence, I'm not sure it would fall in love. And I don't know if 3030 swings that way. Let's see. Any series of Alien is still a no for Cherry Fluff Belly when it comes to horror movies. It's the only form of body horror you can't stand. Understandable. God, even just being told about facehuggers freaked me out on the concept.
Some of my local buds move out of state.
All right, for that, I just need to go to Blue Sky. I sent pictures of our progress. Media. There we are. Oh, what a tough time that cross trip was. You want a kind of existential terror? Let's talk Kansas. Now, apparently I'm waiting for this thing to finish saving to my hard drive. Kansas. Oh, good night, Jakob. Have a good rest. More Pathfinder. Excellent. For Voice of Reason. Now, I will say Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That had a good horror, or at least suspense effort. That one I could say is pretty good. You definitely will. You will fear the Scarlet Witch. You might not feel her pain, but
conflicts to blows anything to having some of my local buds move out of state. So when this news strangely popped up on Tuesday, July 15th, I had something that could at least take my mind off things, for which I'm grateful. Now, I've seen many of my fellow fans denounce or decry this decision, and not without good cause.
all right, live action MLP. Boy, howdy, we've got to. Well, let's go into Twitter on this one. Live action My Little Pony. Nope. We'll go with latest. Yada, 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 yada. Huh. Boy, everybody got an opinion, of course. Ugh. But this was in July, so let's look for stuff in July. What the heck was that? Good lordy. I don't know what that is, but we'll return to it. So, July. Nope. Thoughts on live action? Thoughts on... Nope. I have no idea what half these people are saying. First ever light is officially happening. Everybody's saying stuff. Honestly, I was expecting more anger on Twitter. I mean, isn't that what Twitter's for? But I'm only in the August posts. Good God. August 1st. July. There we are. A lot of My Little... Man. Can't even see. We'll catch up eventually. Maybe I should just look at Equestria Daily. Equestria Daily. Live action. There's always comments here. Now, the trick is I'm going to black out everyone's, there we are. Excellent. Nope. Done. Now I just need to put that in the old Photoshopage. Here we go. Screenshot. Nope. My iCloud storage of food. Fine, but I just need my desktop. Oh, fine, computer. If you're gonna be all pissy about things. So angry. Nope. That's the one thing when you take a screenshot and suddenly it's just it. Now, as you can see, I've taken a lot of screenshots over time. I think it's about time to cut down on that, isn't it? Nope. should not I have already seen this? Nope. Okay. How annoying. Sort by date. Huh. I don't think that screenshot took. How? Well, that's just wrong. I'm very annoyed. I'm very annoyed because I'm trying. Whoa, hey. I'm trying just to take a screenshot here. Done. Now, you think it would show up somewhere, but it hasn't. Okay, I'll just leave that. Let's worry about where it wound up later. I'm concerned that if I keep searching, I'll just end up exposing people's screen names and be the poorer for it.
Yet before I tackle that, let's consider how this serves as an odd kind of compliment. I think back on so many cartoons I watched when I was a kid.
Cartoons I watched when I was a kid. Movies. Men in Black, real. Oh, there we go. And do loves me some Ghostbusters.
While many strove to reach that 65 episode syndication goal line,
Transformers. Oh man, I mostly got. Don't I have a saved? Converted videos. All right, I know a solution to this. $1980s cartoon opening. Come on, I know there's there are compilations. 80s cartoon compilations. Top 25. That sounds pretty good to me. I think I know what a good number of them are. Ay. Well, Cosman, I appreciate that that you too need file cleaning. It's a constant struggle. Man, I think I'm asking my computer to do too much. It's acting really slow. Are y'all doing okay on audio? I'm not coming across as super slow. Or domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Lord have mercy, I am going too slow. All right, let's close out a few of these searches. Train Your Dragon, train scene. All right, let's just close out of this for right now because ain't nothing working for me. How frustrating. So frustrating. How frustrating? Very frustrating. You know, I bet I know what it is. The weird mobile drive has a very unsteady connection. So let's eject that. Okay, good. People are hearing me okay. Good Lord, even telling this thing to... All right. Trinair, you still spoil me. Come on now. Good Lord, my computer really is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Few were able to garner such a following that corporations thought they could make some extra money by producing a live-action adaptation. For a time, there are only a few. By producing a live-action adaptation. For a time, there are only a few that came to mind. At one end of the spectrum was the ludicrous and campy Masters of the Universe movie.
All right, let's find the... All right, let's see. How's this look for... Certainly campy.
At one end of the spectrum was the ludicrous and campy
No, not so much. Yeah, there we go.
At one end of the spectrum was the ludicrous and campy Masters of the Universe movie. Then there was the pièce de résistance that was the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's go for something a little better lit. Come on, we're speeding through, speeding through. Come on. All right, floor gives out.
Then there was the pièce de résistance that was the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
How quiet. Modify, where's the modify? Why is it so quiet? Man, that audio channel is pretty messy. Well, that's for audio balancing.
And then they tried to adapt Super Mario Brothers.
All right, I know which one I want to do there. Okay. Wondershare, do you want to work with the class now? Nope. Not feeling it, apparently. Let's try one of the older versions. Hello, Nathan Duazo. How are you doing? Close-up section of Raphael in the movie. Oh, yes, I know of the infamous Raphael where you can actually see the operator in the mouth. But it was still a fantastic movie. Wow. Wondershare just doesn't want to work with me today. Okay, fine. What happened to share and share alike, huh? Huh? Super Mario Brothers movie. Did I convert that already? Lord save me. I'm getting the spinning wheel of doom over here. Spinning wheel of doom. Okay, well.
And I think it speaks to the closed nature of the cartoon live-action cycle that Michael Bay his CG stained hands on the Ninja Turtles franchise.
All right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. Ah.
Whoa.
And I think it speaks to the closed nature of the cartoon live-action cycle that Michael Bay got his CG stained hands.
Nope, that's not going to work. Yes, on we go.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, brothers. Like shadows in the night.
Okay.
Others. And I think it speaks to the closed nature of the cartoon live-action cycle that Michael Bay got his CG stained hands on the Ninja Turtles franchise.
Back off, Raph.
That Michael Bay got his CG.
Alrighty. Yes, I say that name Michael Bay with a good deal of disdain.
That Michael Bay got his CG stained hands on the Ninja Turtles franchise. And we're waiting to see how a new live-action He-Man will turn out.
Oh, well, yes, I don't need that. Sigh. What are folks saying? So how do fighting make you love being a turtle? No, Pokemon Fire EV. Being a turtle is that you can retract your head into your shell to avoid an axe to the neck. And who wouldn't love that ability? Oh, man, I'm going to have to, force quit my Finder. If this does not, if this knocks out the stream, I apologize, but let's find out. Real Lunch Finder. There we go. All right. How we doing? Come on now. Talk to me. Talk to me. Save file while we're at it. Now I need to look up He-Man live action movie 2025. Ugh, I'm seeing a lot of AI. Action poster. Come on, they got here we go. Well, let's try this again. Nope. Heavy sigh. I'm having computer issues today. But then, who isn't? Oh, yeah. Hello, Misty Dolphin. You're right. It is a pretty common thing. Stream issues, a day ending in Y. As in, why do I rely on these things? There we go. Probably get chiding from the computer for that, but oh well. 508.
And we're waiting to see how a new live-action He-Man will turn out. In between these brackets, the early 2000s added a live-action G.I. Joe.
Oh, and a kung fu grip. Wow.
And Michael Bay's Transformers.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
My. Who ordered the beefcake? There you go. If you ever wanted a screenshot out of context, knock yourselves out. Let's see. I'm just going to crop the top off this. Well, maybe the sword. And take just a little off the left and the right. Actually, now I'm filled with doubt. Is that the actual... There are so many AI images of Masters of the Universe posters. I don't know what's real. But this one seems to be on the legit side.
In between these brackets, the early 2000s added a live-action G.I. Joe. And Mike.
More decapitations. Live action G.I. Joe. Yeah, here we go. You know, for all the shade I throw at Michael Bay, he's so enamored with military. I'm surprised he's never tried to do G.I. Joe. Alrighty.
Between these brackets, the early 2000s added a live-action G.I. Joe.
Oh, and a kung fu grip. Wow.
And Michael Bay.
Michael Bay's Transformers. Let's get the...
100 times cooler.
How far into the transformation did we get?
And Michael Bay's Transformers.
Man, we didn't get that far. Maybe...
And Michael Bay's Transformers.
That kind of works, but not. What else can we get? Give me something good here. Okay, maybe there.
And Michael Bay's Transformers.
Man, not enough. I want a really good shot, you know? I guess this is pretty good. Get a big old close-up of... there's a grand struggle with trying to make a Transformer look like it's in the real world. Because, yeah, I can appreciate that you need something to give them lip movements. And just having a blank sheet of metal just isn't going to work. But at the same time, there's such a thing as over detailed. And God, I'm so tired of looking at that.
Can we please find a clip with a little more dignity?
Okay. I'll play your game. Frame, hold, options, hold on the first frame. In point.
Can we please find a clip with a little more dignity?
Now this is just becoming fetishistic.
Plus,
Whoop. There was that flash frame of death. Flash frames. They only last for a frame, but they really, really ruin your day.
plus 2 Tomb Raider movies.
Now then, I went through a big old conversion spree of videos, but I'm not sure. Converted videos, Tomb Raider. Good gravy. Am I going to have to go through this again?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Sources say no.
And Mortal Kombat adaptations with varying degrees of entertainment. And
Good gravy. You think I'd actually get through this a little bit better? Nikki W., I don't know if it's been decades since you were here, but we're glad you're here now. It's good to see you. Oh, Wondershare, you finally decided to work with me, did you? Not right now, please. Barely managed to get you to load up for a minute. All right, let's go through. After this, maybe it's time to do some more conversions. We'll find out. Come on now. You can do it. See, it wants to be on screen to show you how hard it's working. Nathan Wazo, I'm right there with you as a Transformers fan. Ooh, I'm getting a little feedback in my headphones. Waiting for the converter. So slow. So very slow. Weird little pattern going. Bam, 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 bam. The live-action Transformers look overly detailed, like wreckage in disguise. An excellent and very apt description, Adam Leisman. The screenshot, just looking through. All right, so fortunately everyone survived the relaunch of Finder. Good to know. 1 second remaining. In your own time, eh? All right, so let's get some conversions going. There's Tomb Raider, Street Fighter, no subtitles, thank you.
plus 2 Tomb Raider movies, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat adaptations.
So that's both Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I'm looking forward to the next live-action Mortal Kombat.
With varying degrees of entertainment. And then there was this thing. Just a little bit more on that shortly.
Okay.
And then there was this thing. Just a little bit more on that shortly.
Let's see here. Nope. Yes.
Just a little bit more on that shortly. Yet for all this, it does speak to the subject matter's popularity. The companies would even make the attempt, as noted on Animation Iconics website. A high-budget 3D...
Woo. Again, I am the cutoff.
A high-budget 3D animation project can cost up to $30,000, whereas a first-grade live action can cost you upwards of $50,000. With that budgetary difference in mind, it seems that a live action show is so much more of a financial risk. So I don't think I'll ever get to see a live action mask outside the old 80s commercial.
Well, no, Rule Julia chewed the scenery as the highlight. Yep. But my gosh, he chewed it with an elegance rarely seen. All right, so this conversion is going to run for a little while in the background, and boy howdy, that's going to be something. But in the meantime,
I found this on the web.
well, that's very nice, Siri, but you're talking during a stream. Very naughty. Very naughty. Alrighty, movies. Cartoon intros compilation. I'll save masks since I'm... Oh, yeah. Oh, how I love Silverhawks. How often do you get to hear a sound that awesome?
For which I am grateful. Now, I've seen many of my fellow fans denounce or decry this decision, and not without good cause. Yet before I tackle that, let's consider how this serves as an odd kind of compliment. I think back on so many cartoons I watched when
Oh, well, I didn't need the audio as much as I love it, as much as I sing its praises.
I think back on so many cartoons I watched when I was a kid.
Maybe I shouldn't have put Tallyhawk right there. Just look at them and all their chrome goodness.
Many strove to reach that 65 episode syndication goal line.
All right, so not so much. We just did. I don't think even Sky Commanders made it to. I don't think Sky Commanders even made it to 65.
General Lucas Plague.
Nope. Here we go.
Few were able to garner such a following that corporation.
All right, Sky Commanders. Why not? This wink. This is bromance, at the very least.
Few were able to garner such a following that corporations thought they could make some extra money.
Man and machine, power extreme.
You know, it's so strange. All these lines sound really ridiculous. Power extreme. But you hear them say it in the cartoon, it is the most awesome feeling.
The corporations
awesomest
thought
feeling.
they could make some extra money by producing a live-action adaptation. For a time, there are only a few.
Of course, that was that the announcer is really awesome. I don't like. Oh, Rambo. I'm not gonna. I've been so harsh on Inhumanoids. I want to save Mask for a little later. Okay, so I've still got to add a few
For money by producing a live-action adaptation. For a time, there were only a few that came to mind. At one end of the spectrum was the ludicrous and campy Masters of the Universe movie. Just a little bit more on that shortly. Yet for all this, it does speak to the subject matter's popularity. The companies would even make the attempt.
All right, let's go back to Transformers. Transformers. Yeah. Now, how about when Optimus is on the freeway? That was a pretty dang... Here we go.
Exactly what I said.
Alright, here's Tom. He's blowing stuff up. Skating almost. There we go. When the sword comes out, that's when you know. Hello, Quebec Grenbuku. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yet for all this, it does speak to the subject matter's popularity. The companies would even make the attempt. As noted on Animation Iconic's website.
Alrighty. Yep, cool, Kermit. Michael Bay's live action. Okay. I should be more thorough in my reactions. I really got caught up in the spirit of the first Michael Bay live action. But on the drive home, I started to realize, oh, wait, a lot of that didn't make sense. It was more adrenaline fueled than story. And so I thought, okay, I had fun, but I'm not going to fall for that twice. And then I saw Revenge of the Fallen, and I decided that's enough. I'm not watching anymore. All right. Well, once again, I must take a screenshot. Let's see if I have any better luck. Okay, now this screenshot, for the love of Pete, I should be able to see it proudly right there. Ah, and there's my fellow fans. Okay, 1 second. Off screen, I realize it's not terribly interesting, but I promise, copying and pasting files, it really isn't that interesting to begin with. Images. Boop. All right, so.
I am grateful. Now, I've seen many of my fellow fans announce it.
Wait, I am being the fool. Oh, I'm being a double fool because suddenly Photoshop. Photoshop is no longer available. Well, ain't that a kick in the teeth? Is this another applications? Where are you at, Photoshop? I'm coming for you. Adobe Photoshop 2026. We're not even done with this year. They're releasing the new stuff. How messed up is that, I ask you? All right, let's try this again. Open up for me, Photoshop. Can it? Can it? There you are. Nice lady with grass and pastels and shapes and mad. Okay, you know what? This is madness. This image is clearly madness personified, but it's very beautiful madness. Mac OS recommendation. Okay, I'll bite. What Mac number am I on? 14.5. Oh, hell. Don't show this again. I don't do first gen, well, how best to put it? I just don't do the new operating systems right out of the gate because I know that Apple is going to have 50 bajillion fixes. There we go. I realize that you all can probably see this. I don't know how well those screen names stood out to you, but I'm going to give it just a little bit more. I figure you all will keep your confidence. I'm not setting out to be cruel to our fellow fans. I just want to show that I'm not speaking hyperbole, that there are people who thought very poorly of this.
Not without good cause. Yet before I tackle that, let's consider how this serves.
Alrighty.
Cause. Not without good cause. Yet before I tackle that, let's consider how this serves as an odd kind of compliment. I think back on so many cartoons I watched when I was a kid. While many strove to reach that 65-episode syndication goal line, few were able to garner such a following that corporations thought they could make some extra money by producing a live-action adaptation. For a time, there were only a few that came to mind. At one end of the spectrum was the ludicrous and campy Masters of the Universe movie.
Yep, you get used to hearing that a while.
Larry, the companies would even make the attempt, as noted. As noted.
There we go.
A high-budget 3D animation project can cost up to $30,000, whereas a first-grade live-action can cost you upwards of $50,000. With that budgetary difference in mind, it seems that a live-action show is so much more of a financial risk. So I don't think I'll ever get to see a live-action mask outside the old 80s commercial.
All right, now I can use that mask intro. Gosh, if that theme song doesn't put me right back in a time where I was in the first grade or watching Saturday morning cartoons.
So I don't think I'll ever get to see a live-action mask outside of the old 80s commercial.
Here, assemble masks. Intruder closing in.
And even less of a chance of Starcom.
I could have sworn I had Starcom saved in the converted folder. But then I apparently could have sworn a lot of things. Starcom TV commercial. Nope, that won't work.
Starcom fights off Earth's attackers. With a breakthrough in space technology.
Yes, where everything just moves really slow. Although even there's even a sort of grandeur in the way they just go Starcom. TV commercial. Too bad they didn't include the intro. Yeah. Once again, to YouTube. Let's see what it... Well, how are we doing on these conversions, eh? Wondershare? Yeah. Okay, we're not going to get to tackle that in a while.
When I think of those ads and why they invested more on live action rather than more animated commercials. When I think of those ads and why they invested more on live action rather than more... When I think of those ads and why they invested more on live action rather than more animated commercials like the Transformers and G.I. Joe.
All right, Transformers commercials. Now, here's the kicker. Transformers commercials had the best animation out of the series. Transformers, Age of Extinction, last night. You get all the files, but you never pronounce them. I haven't been keeping track of the chat too well. Lee Shaoran, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Jared, well, Randomon 565, I don't have enough hair for Pip 2 style. So, unfortunately, it's a lost cause there. And yes, Cool Kermit, Masters of the Universe is getting Masters live action movie again. Hopefully faring better than the first one. Oh, Enderpup, have a good dinner and take care. Oh yeah, Jared Leto, he is playing Skeletor as long as he doesn't behave like he did playing the Joker. Alrighty. So let's keep on moving.
I wonder if part of the goal was to indeed make the series feel more real to the target audience.
All right, now...
Shotgun and volcano.
I wonder if part of the goal was to indeed make the series feel more real to the target audience. And if that was actually a mistake.
And next up, more of the Starcom. Bye-bye. Nope, that won't work.
My shadow force. Space.
Oh boy. How would you feel if you were this actor?
My shadow force space speed will spread darkness throughout the universe.
Emperor Dark has a deadly new weapon.
Think about that. He had to get paid to look like that. Yeah, it's looking all the same here.
In deepest space, a battle rages between the evil Shadow Force and...
Alrighty. Now for the days where you could feel like the U.S. was fighting pure evil. And so we were, by de facto, the good guys. Don't know how you feel of these days.
And if that was actually a mistake. Actually a mistake. And I hear you say, Silver, you vectored Verdun.
Let's see, that's too far of a pause. So let's just delete that.
Silver, you vectored Verdun. What about the Disney live-action movies? And I hear you say Silver.
Disney. I'm going to Disneyland. Aladdin. Shouldn't have double-clicked on that. Okay, that's animated. Lion King. 80s. Alice in Wonderland. Nope. Still cartoons. Cinderella 2015. Pretty sure that's a good one. Dumbo 2019. The Emperor Had Tested Speech, Master Universe, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. What am I looking at here? Is this live action? It is. Not. It is not. Street Fighter, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yada yada, yada yada. Lion King, are you also animated? Yes. Alright, so let's just start with Cinderella here. There we go. Gold carriage. Pretty easily to make out. Although if you want to talk about over-design, that pumpkin carriage doesn't look that great either.
And I hear you say Silver. You vectored Verdun.
Whoa! Check that out. That's pretty freaky. Where you at? There you are. Oh my, looks like had a little neck problem there. Don't get me started on Snow Blight and the Seven Abominations, Misty Dolphin. Well, there may yet be time for that. Okay, that's better. Let's copy that. Paste the motion. I didn't select motion. Hello? There we go. Goodness gracious, but I've hit a lot of start stops with this project.
I hear you say Silver. You vectored Verdun.
Dumbo.
You vectored Verdun. What about the Disney live-action movies?
I guess I'll have to work on more conversions like Mulan and what else? Beauty and the Beast, Snow White. Unfortunately, dead on arrival thanks to very poor PR, and especially the lead actress and her attitudes towards older stories.
Yes, this strange trend of reimagined classics that's meant to be an update to modern audiences, but ends up disappointing almost everyone. The strange thing is that I tend to view these live actions in a separate category. While New Line Cinema took a bold chance on indie production company Golden Harvest and the Ninja Turtles movie,
let's just get rid of Silver-Quill in this moment, and let's go with the. Nope. Alrighty. Coming along.
While New Line Cinema took a bold chance on indie production company Golden Harvest and the Ninja Turtles movie, Disney's rehatching seems much more nepotistic. Even if the movie doesn't land well, there's still the backing from a media juggernaut to try again and again and again. At this point, I really think they should just stop. Now, Hasbro and Amazon MGM Productions are certainly no lightweights.
Here we go. We'll just use this one again. Beep.
It's a far riskier venture than anything Disney cooked up. If it doesn't work out, I doubt they can just shrug and try again. Which leads to the question of whether or not they should even try.
I guess we'll just keep this static image for the moment.
If it doesn't work out, I doubt they can just shrug and try again. Which leads to the question of whether or not they should even try. Fans have already begun posting on this as a bad idea, and I think that's based on bitter experience. There's an entire subset of YouTubers who will claim that these newer films fail because they're trying to be woke.
Might have to leave soon, Trails of Billy Official, not to worry. I appreciate you taking the time to see me earlier in the day.
This is both reductive and deceptive. Reductive and...
Oh, yes. I wonder if there's an image for anti-woke YouTubers who I will maintain are lying to all of you. Come on, give me a good image here. All right, I guess I'll use 2 images. But I should double check one thing. Right with y'all. Okay. Come on. Space Marine to transgender? They say this, but I'm not sure it's the... I want to make sure this isn't an actual... Sue has gone. Yada, 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 yada. Yada, 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 yada. Nope. Not apparently an actual YouTuber. Here we go. So many images, so little time.
This is both reductive. Fans have already begun posting on this as a bad idea, and I think that's based on bitter experience. There's an entire subset of YouTubers who will claim that these newer films fail because they're trying to be woke.
Alrighty. Turn down the scale, move it on over. Whoops. Let's try that again.
Will claim that these newer films fail because they're trying to be woke. This is both reductive and deceptive. Reductive in that it tries to make one point the sole complaint despite a variety of issues like the story structure, characterization, and CG visuals that just don't blend. Deceptive in that the presenter's real goal is to stoke anger against social change, rather than engage in honest discussion about writing and storytelling.
You know what? I might as well just put the critical drinker. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but But why beat around the bush? Images. I'm glad Final Cut, or rather, Premiere Pro can finally work with WebP images.
Deceptive in that the presenter's real goal is to stoke anger against social change, rather than engage in honest discussion about writing and storytelling. While so many things can go wrong with the modernization, I think one root cause is a flawed understanding of While so many things can go wrong with a modernization, I think one root cause is a flawed understanding of the original's appeal. If you can get at the heart of a story and add elements that still tap into that connection, which reach so many audience members, then I think any additions or updates could still resonate with the original idea. There are aspects of older animations that don't work with today's values, but these animations have remained in our collective awareness because of something much stronger, something not moored to one era's interpretation. Why do we miss this so often? I think it stems from the same delusion voiced by the Oscars.
So many kids.
I hated when they said this.
So many kids
watch these movies over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I see some parents out there know exactly what we're talking about.
It's a testament to our cultural immaturity that we think that animation is a genre rather than a medium, and that its audience is solely limited to children. I attest that animation is freedom, not just freedom from the financial demands of a big budget production, as we can witness creative and entertaining animations here on YouTube, but also freedom from reality's limitations. Physical action that might seem impossible, but is still wildly appealing. Character designs that might look wrong in real life can have a certain charm in the animated form. In fact, the more exaggerated a character's appearance, the more their potential to become iconic. Yet above all this...
All right, man, I've got to... This requires so much conversion. I don't like the idea of just going through it little piece by piece by piece. Well, Pokemon Fire EV, I think you probably avoided the worst of the critical drinker's rhetoric if you only watched the Snow White movie review. The guy, once upon a time, I thought he was more fun, but after a while, I started to realize he was just making the same argument over and over again, and it's not even the right argument. Something being woke. You guys realize, by definition, anti-woke is wanting to stay ignorant and avoid responsibility. So no. The shows that tried to modernize things, they just didn't do it right in terms of storytelling. It has nothing to do with whether or not they wanted to include a character who was homosexual or a transgender, or pointing out a cultural, what's the best word, imbalance or discrepancy. I see, I'm getting so tired in my head, I can't even come up with multisyllabic words. In short, they're a bunch of liars.
Labyrinth of storyboards, oddly named dope sheets to describe keyframes, and early test screenings. Yet all that effort can reveal something unique and beyond anything one can accomplish trying to simulate reality. To say nothing of classic cartoons that definitely appeal to an older audience. Yet somehow we think that animation is a genre rather than a medium. It's a testament to our cultural immaturity that we think that animation is a genre rather than a medium.
Alrighty. Just going through some... Oh, that's where I saved those. Drat. All right. Well, let's keep trying to fill in what we can. Oh, I want to say I'm about halfway there, but that's not true. Especially if I can't find this dang train station again. Oh, well. I'll find it. By God, I will find it.
Plus two Street Fighter and bad adaptations with varying degrees of entertainment. And then there was this thing. Just a little bit more on that shortly. Yet for all this, it does speak to the subject matter's popularity. The companies would even make the attempt, as noted on Animation Iconic's website.
All right, Animation Iconic. I'm going to borrow your image to give your quote. Boop, boop. Bring it over. Bring it over and replace these with an After Effects composition. Hello, Vampire. It's come to a point where the word woke has lost a lot of meaning. Yes, I thoroughly agree. I've not seen Snow White, so I can't give a... Well, okay, I've seen the original Snow White, but I can't give you all any insight into the movie. Goodness gracious. Animation quote. Live MLP. And let's make a new... After Effects projects. All right. Nope, that's not right. Also not correct. How does one crop? Crop edges? Heavy sigh. Okay. Well, now this is silly. How am I supposed to... Here we are. And let's see, that's left, right. There we go. Top. Little off the top. That's the bottom. What is this, opposite day? Okay. I guess it is. Effects, transform, and roll out. Well, if it's gonna... No, I'll put this at the top. And then we get the good old text, but I need title action safe. Here we are. Come on, show me. There we go. Oh, yes. Later on in this piece, I talk about a new... And what was it? What do they call it? The anime with horse girls. Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Well, I haven't watched it. It just struck me that basically I feel like someone decided to pursue furry fans, especially horse fans, with this unique but still very surface level appeal. They're famous horses from derbies reborn as, of all things, high school girls, but they still have horse tails and they love to race. It is, well, not my thing. I guess that's the most direct answer. Now, if you like it, hey, I am not saying don't like it. I get the sense of the motivation behind its creation. It's like when someone says, oh, this character needs to breathe through her skin. That's why she's so scantily clad. Okay, you've given an in-world reason. I appreciate that, but I think at your heart you started with the desire and made the world change to match that. Let's try to make this a bit more. Yeah. Here we go. Let's tone down the opacity on this guy so that he doesn't compete. And let's add some new solid black video. Ah, come on. Come on. There you go. Is this image a D&D thing? I don't know, Cosmin Inspira. It's what they chose for their website. For all I know, it could be AI, but it's on their website, so that's what I'm going to use. Actually, why am I trying so hard? Just center it up. There we go. Drop shadow. Drop shadow. Opacity 80%. Looks pretty good. And now for the typewriter. Oh, I didn't change the audio hardware, so let's just do a quick little fix there. After Effects settings, audio hardware. Where's my audio hardware? Right there. You're going to my Rodecaster.
A high-budget 3D animation project can cost up to $30,000, whereas a first-grade live-action can cost you upwards of $50,000.
There we are. Okay. My mouse is all floaty. All right. Come on. Apply the default transition.
An Iconic's website. A high-budget 3D animation project can cost up to $30,000, whereas a first-grade live-action can cost you upwards of $50,000. With that budgetary difference in mind, it seems that a live-action show is so much more of a financial risk. So I don't think I'll ever get to see a live-action risk.
Okay, again, too large a pause. Let's tighten that up a little.
Financial risk. So I don't think I'll ever get to see a live-action mask outside of the old 80s commercial.
Hacker here. Assemble masks. Intruder closing in.
And even less of a chance of Starcom.
Now the secrets of Magna-Logan power deploy on mine.
That's my polarizing gas. Too late, Crowbar.
When I think of those ads and why they invested more on live action rather than more animated commercials like the Transformers and G.I. Joe, I wonder if part of the goal was to indeed make the series feel more real to the target audience. And if that was actually a mistake. And I hear you say, Silver, you vector.
Alrighty. Speaking of vectoring, there's one thing I want to try and fix. Let's see, we're going Silver-Quill, Illustrator, Silver-Quill, Body. And of course, just now, the tasks are complete. Harumph. And now I've got to go back over to Twitch and delete another bot. How sad. How very sad. Let's see here. Ban. And how can I go about... Yeah, I'll just ban it. So stupid. Three-quarters of the anti-woke discourse is aimed at dunking on straw men that virtually no one actually holds. That sounds about right. All right, so what do I need to do now? Well, now on the Silver-Quill original piece, thinking. There we go. Gonna have to be tricky with this one. See, it used to be I would just draw a body pose for flipping everything. Not so anymore. So now I need to do 5 back leg thinking. Boop. Now that part's relatively simple, but what I really need now we go into the expressions. Silver-Quill expressions. Done trying to draw everything in every iteration. A more, I don't know, multi-layer adaptable approach is what I want now. Thinking. So there's the fist to add the thinking, but also we need to add a thinking talk. Just because none of those bot postings linked to inappropriate sites. Well, I'm sorry you were getting those Misty Dolphin, but yes, I will be somewhat grateful. Not too grateful, though. Well, now I'm thinking more on if Starcom happened today, if there was an actual Lord Dark, why am I afraid that we'd invite him to the new ballroom more than anything? And what a sad, sad thing that would be. Come on, there you are. Let's delete that. Having some trouble with this vector. It's being all defiant. Fine. We'll make this nice and simple. Boop. Thank you. Come on now. Realize I've been doing this without music, and I can guarantee you I'll still get copyright claims for the audio of the footage I've used. But I appreciate everybody willing to just go with my melodious voice. Do 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 do. Whoop. Alrighty. I just need this and this. Hello, Starbreaker 12. Hopes you're doing well. Adam Leisman, you can say what you like. How can I best put this? I have friends on various ends of the political spectrum. And I'd like to think it's possible to still be friends, even if we don't agree on all the topics. The conflict really rears its head when policy influences how we treat other human beings. And particularly the way people view and treat members of the LGBTQ community. In that case, my view is any policy that dehumanizes them, that denies them respect and care as is promised under our policy of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that's no argument. There is no compromise. As human beings and Americans, citizens, or just as people of the world, we did start our declaration with a decent opinion for the thoughts of mankind. That's non-negotiable. It should be there. So if we oppose that, well, then no, I'm sorry, we can't come to a agree to disagree. We promise that. Okay. Well, now I've got to export all these again. But that's not the worst thing. Except I don't need the exporter info. Files, script, multi-exporter. Actually, you know what? I should keep that. Because it will tell multi-exporter. Yes. Normally it would start in an hour, Swordbreaker, but today is different. Not only just because I'm streaming on a Wednesday. I have a class with the Union Society at 6:30, my time, in which we'll be talking about the Epic of Gilgamesh. And so I wanted to make sure I got this going and, well, realized what I need to get put together to keep it going and fulfilled. '80s cartoon villains still had standards. Boy, ain't that the truth. You know, I sometimes think of for anyone who played Final Fantasy VIII, the scene where the sorceress, having been elected the leader of a country, And she's basically saying to the audience cheering her election, I am going to kill you all now. I'm still the villain you fear. And people are still all for it. I kind of envisioned Silver-Quill being there. I was like, are you people paying attention to what she's saying? Yeah, you people are stupid. Alrighty. Silver-Quill expression. And there's a part of me that says, don't get political. I am here to talk about cartoons. But it's also hard to just stay quiet when you see madness happening all around and wondering if you could do anything, even something little, to combat it. So I haven't pulled the trigger on that, and I'll give it some more thought. Now, for the body, I need to reveal and find her. Yes, Misty Dolphin, I agree that junction and draw system was horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. And success. It works. All right, real quick, just boop, 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 boop. The many expressions of Silver-Quill. Expression is thinking talk. Yes, lovely. Oh, maybe not so lovely. Well, we'll have to work on that, won't we? Okay, but that's doable. That's doable, but just a few more minutes to fix this up. And down we go. Thinking talk. Boop. Whoa. There was something tragic happening here. Let's see if I can get this to where it's supposed to be. Though I'll have to keep my eyes open. Why on earth did I make this pose? There we go. Come on, come on. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here we are. And whoop. Now there's another head thingy. Head thingy. Whoop. I do a lot of thinking in this video. Normally that's a good thing. All right. Okay, I think we're just about there. Or maybe I'm thinking wrong. Yeah, I just want to clear through this. Okay. Well, Nikki W., I'm glad you could join us this time. And I'm very grateful to all of you for spending your time with me, watching me go through the ins and outs and struggles of this here deal mabob. I've just got to get a few more things converted so I can make a full go at this B-roll. Ugh, B-roll. It could be so vexing. Also, I need to find where in the hoo-ha-hey I put that Ponyville train station. I'm sure I have it. I just need to figure out where. But in any case, everyone, we're at the top of the hour. It's been 2 hours. I really appreciate y'all hanging with me. But now it is time to go and do various things offline. And so I'm going to wish you all a very happy Halloween, whether at home watching stuff with friends and family or just hanging on doing something you enjoy. I hope it's a fun time. If you are going trick-or-treating, I hope it is very rewarding. But whatever the case, just know I'm rooting for you, and I will see you all again. I believe next week should, emphasize on should, be a normal Fulfillment Friday. So until then, be safe and be well.